numbers with women. And, the Harris campaign did some of that tonight. The Trump campaign decided, let's just give her that and let's go grow our electorate differently. And it looks like tonight that worked.
We've got another result on one of the abortion referenda. Well, let's go to Laura Jarrett in the newsroom. Laura, what do you have?
Yeah, Lester, this was another ballot measure, this one in Arizona, where overwhelmingly by a vote of 62%, that ballot amendment has now passed. Again, this would be a constitutional amendment that would enshrine a right to an abortion up to the point of viability, which is roughly 24 weeks of pregnancy. Obviously, a big difference in this battleground state, where currently it's a 15-week restriction on the right to abortion. So a big difference there. Again, we haven't yet made a projection on the ultimate race for president in that state. But again, the ballot amendment we can project has passed there.
Let me
All right, Laura, thanks very much.
And it's interesting on that front. There's also another ballot initiative in Arizona that has to do with immigration. And the thinking was that maybe
Bridget.
people were going to turn out based on this abortion ballot initiative. Maybe
I'm over here like, no.
Ballot initiative that those would maybe lean Trump. But the Trump campaign.
I don't even know, because they said like the Red Mirage is like, this is where we were at. But I don't know. What's up, Bridget? What's up, Sydney? What's going on, Taylor?
Expanding
Ani.
the amount of voters who came out.
I grabbed the Modelo. That's what I'm sipping on right now.
Not to campaign with Nikki Haley. And a lot of people thought, oh, that's going to be a big misstep. To your point, Jim, it was his way of calculating, I'm going to focus on driving out the mail vote, because a lot of people thought, boy, that's a risky strategy.
I'm trying to just chill and watch this and, not jump to conclusions.
There was never a sense of here's an olive branch coming to my tent.
There were a million people that voted for Nikki Haley in battleground states.
I got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. What y'all eat? Are y'all eating anything, or y'all in bed?
He could have done both. Like a good president.
Yeah, we'll only have like what projection now.
70-some% of Americans say we're on the wrong track. This race was
But they said if Trump gets PA, then we might be.
Young voters we're talking about. Had he been able to do both those things,
It's not looking too good.
They were just sitting out there. Remember Nikki on one of your shows this week saying,
"Ooh, they have kettle chips."
Because they decided, to your point, they were going to go jack up low propensity white males, and it may have worked.
Check in on Battleground, Michigan. NBC's Jesse Kirsch is in Detroit.
Insane.
Still counting into the night there, Jesse?
Yeah, Lester, we're trying to get some clarity. As I mentioned earlier, we were hoping we would have the tabulation from the city of Detroit around midnight. We have not gotten any confirmation at this point if that has been completed, but I do want to emphasize something that we're seeing coming out of the surrounding areas. Dearborn, Michigan, that is a community that has a large population of Arab Americans. And what we've been watching for is the potential impact of the war in Gaza, the situation in the Middle East that is
Come on, Michigan,
and how that might impact the vote here. And we're starting to get some early indications.
Yeah, I saw them. I didn't know they had those.
Not the complete
fake
data. Of
curvy.
course, we're still waiting for more votes to come in, including the absentee for Dearborn. But when we look at what we know so far, the breakdown we're seeing is former President Trump has 47% of the vote in Dearborn. Vice President Harris has 27.5% of the vote so far, and third-party candidate, Green Party candidate Jill Stein.
That doesn't make any
22%.
sense.
The warning signs around this issue go back to the Democratic primary. President Joe Biden, when he was still at the top of the ticket for the Democrats, he had over 100,000 people vote uncommitted in protest of his administration's stance on the war in Gaza back in the primary.
I think we do have Hawaii.
Make a concerted effort to make outreach to this community on this issue. Vice President Harris over the weekend at a rally in East Lansing, Michigan at Michigan State University on the campus singled out the war in Gaza at the top of her remarks. We saw President Trump.
But do they think Trump is going to do better at Gaza? Like, I don't get that.
In Grand Rapids, Michigan on Monday night, really into early Tuesday morning. At that event, he had a Muslim mayor, a Muslim American mayor from a community in Michigan speaking there. Both campaigns have been making a push there, but we also know Jill Stein has made a very concerted effort to reach out to that community. In fact, she had planned to be.
It wouldn't surprise me, Fink
tonight, and we have confirmation from a group known as Abandon Harris that she did in fact spend the night, the election night celebration, with that organization, and they are.
What's going on, chicken tender?
About what they're seeing from the results, and I just want to read part of some comments that someone gave to me when I interviewed them after they voted, or around voting, I should say, in Dearborn over the weekend. And he said that as it comes to both major party candidates, he hopes that they will.
It is chicken tender.
We don't have these people in our pockets. My vote is up for grabs. it's a wake-up call, and it certainly seems at this point that the positions of both major party candidates or the lack thereof of a reach out in the way that some people wanted may be influencing the vote here. And again,
I'm trying
so
Zuflu.
ways were pinned back in 2016, only around 10,000 vote margin in favor of former President Trump. We'll see if this could be the difference.
Says
in the
Associated
state
Press. Let
15
me check.
electoral
Hold on.
votes of November.
All right, Jesse, thank you. And we've got an alert here. This is Nevada, moving from too early to call to too close to call. And they're counting fast. They're 70% of the vote in, too close to call in the western battleground of Nevada. And Tom, let's zero in on what.
How many electoral? Oh, six.
In the silver state, if the trend is your friend in Las Vegas, the trend is your friend if you're a Republican tonight. Here's why. Look, a lot of the vote is still out in Clark County. There's still about 23%.
This is like,
Clark County.
we shouldn't be this
Right
close.
here,
Like, that's the
is way
problem.
too close. This is how Clark County, Vegas ended up 4 years ago. You can see it was almost a 10-point.
I thought we had Michigan
It
too.
was a 10-point split there. And now we're talking about 2%.
Hey, me too, Stolers.
Again, a lot of the vote is out. That vote could come in and those numbers could change. Reno, Washoe County, more reflective of the entire state vote. This is the battleground county. Biden won this in 2020 tonight.
Fucking Vegas,
Still, a lot of
yo.
the vote is out. He's only on top by about 200.
Yeah,
votes, so
Yanni.
not much
True.
to say there. But what we can point out in the Trump counties, like Elko County here, 64% in. Trump is overperforming tonight. He was at 76. He's almost at 80%
Oh
right
my
now. And
God.
Democrats aren't going to find votes here. I mean, these numbers aren't going to swing a lot in the Democrats' way. This is Trump country here in the middle of Nevada.
Ooh, Rice
Douglas
Krispie
County is another,
Squares.
I should say right down here, Douglas County. This is another Trump barometer that we watch. Again, overperforming. 66% of the vote is in. He was at 63 in 2020. He's now at 60.
It does kind of look like that, Stolers,
Right now.
from,
And a lot of the vote is out.
and that's
Clark County,
scary.
I
That
mean,
that's
this is
not.
3/4 of Nevada right here. If Democrats hit certain margins where they're 50,000 or 60,000 votes ahead of Republicans,
She better wait to the last moment. Don't
Again,
start
there's a lot of
conceding
votes
now.
out. We can
No.
find out exactly how much is out. 223,000 votes. So still a lot out there. Democrats.
That's what I said, Ani. She better wait.
Again, this is still a little too
Uh-uh.
close this early in the night, guys.
All right, Tom, thanks very
Stolers.
much. To Steve Patterson.
Seriously,
He's in
that's the
Reno,
problem.
Nevada, where they had long lines into the night. How are things going there now?
You know, Lester, really an experience, a process that is
Exactly,
winding
Fenton Curry.
down
That's
in
true.
most counties
That's
across
true.
The country is only just spooling up here in Nevada,
Like,
as you
just
mentioned.
hold out.
Voting
Don't
really ended just a
don't
few
do
minutes ago
nothing.
with some of these counties.
Let the numbers
sort of
do what
ending
they
the
gonna
process.
do.
People were still in line hours after polls closed. And so the count couldn't really start until it happened, which is why Tom Yamas reporting, obviously, that it's still too close to call, too early to call at this point. Several counties still need returns to come.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be here for like, I don't know, probably give it like an hour or two or something like that. See what happens. I'm not going to bed. I already know that. I'm not going to bed.
Turnout. That was sort of the reading on the wall that I think a lot of folks had, and specifically in those counties in which, you know, Tom Yamas was pointing out that are red, they're going to stay red.
Yeah,
It's
that's true,
sort of
Fenton Curry.
The map doesn't change in those areas. There's really only two population centers in this state.
Okay,
Washoe,
totally.
and which is Clark, Vegas, and Reno. If she doesn't build up a big enough firewall that we see these returns happen over the next few hours, then it's going to be very tough for
Ay,
Democrats to
Dios
make that ground.
mío.
I spoke to both campaigns. They both feel like they still have a good shot. Obviously, Democrats and Republicans both aiming for another subgroup here. Nonpartisan voters. It is a huge, huge segment of the electorate
Which, like,
here in Nevada. It is larger than Republicans.
The Jill
larger than
Stein
Democrats. Of
voters,
course,
I
they all
don't
have their
get.
opinions about
Like,
which
what are
way they
y'all
rank,
doing?
different leanings, and I think both campaigns feel like they're seizing on that. They feel like they know their voters in that group, but that's what makes it so notoriously hard to read in this state. Which way are these nonpartisan voters going? And I think that's sort of what we're going to be focused on within the next few hours. It may not
2016, I wasn't surprised. I knew he was going to win in 2016. People were just a little bit too,
Steve, thanks.
like,
That's Mountain Time, too,
it
by
was
the way.
it was too, like, that movement, that MAGA stuff was too much at that point. I already knew he was going to get it.
Whether we will hear from the former president.
We will, Savannah, and soon, I'm told by campaign officials.
Yeah, that's true too, Stolers. That's a good point.
Across from Mar-a-Lago to here in West Palm Beach, and he is expected to speak soon.
All right,
So
all right,
he
Taylor
is still a
Noir.
bit of a open to interpretation, but
Exactly,
Very
Ani.
clear earlier today. He does not have a lot of patience with this vote counting process. He wants this to be over tonight. He thought it earlier today.
It is,
would be
Louis.
over tonight. It was his desire to speak tonight. Now you see that picture breaking up a little bit as he makes his way across the bridge to West Palm Beach. This ballroom is full. Secret Service starting to kind of close the doors, urge people to get in. They're cranking up the music. Savannah, I do not think it will be long.
Yo, Florida dropped the ball yet again.
That will be an
Like,
interesting situation because if if
I swear, Florida is like the Bronx of America. I swear.
the next president.
Well, we will recall that he declared victory in 2020 when, in fact, he lost. So we'll see what his verbiage is here. What are you going to say?
I was going to say, I've been speaking to some of his allies, and there's sort of this divide about how he should approach this night. And some of them are saying you should be very aggressive. You should get out there and claim victory if, in fact, you think that's where this is headed. Others are saying, look, let's just walk a very fine line. I'll be really curious to see what he says, because this election, unlike 2020, the numbers are on his side. And again, we still have a lot of votes that need to be counted, so we don't know what the ultimate conclusion is going to be. But it's notable he's coming out in Harrison.
Yeah, to be clear, in 2020, he declared victory. The race hadn't been called one way or the other. He hadn't lost yet. He lost 5 days later.
You got some new information, Garrett?
Well, Lester, I just want to add that Trump was asked about this earlier today, and I think we have 2 things from him and from his campaign. First of
If
all,
there's something else y'all want to watch while we wait, so that's just not ongoing stuff, like I got the Destiny versus the Conservatives pulled up if y'all want to watch some of that. Just let me know. Or Pop the Balloon, we can watch that in between time. How many Trump voters last time were hoping for all the brown people to be deported who had brown partners who then got deported? Yeah, right? Zoo flu. Florida's always messing up. Oh, she's up to 214. Let's go. Come on, man. Come on. Because the blue states haven't been, they're not done yet. I mean, the East Coast, no, West Coast, right? Is California a county yet? I don't think so. She just got Delaware. Come on, bro. Foodie Beauty. Oh my God. You trying to torture me, Zuflu? No, Nurse Meow. All these people don't give a damn that he's a felon. Let me mute this. All these people don't give a damn that he's a felon, rapist, and traitor, amongst other things. I'm discussing with my family, friends, and anyone who voted for him. I genuinely don't get it. I don't get how people like voting for him. If Trump, yeah, that's what I was seeing. If he wins PA, it's like there's no getting around that. I told him to make it a good one because lighter skin. Define torture. Foodie Beauty is torture, unless it's like one of her what was it? The I know the Cuba Rage is like one that everybody knows, but Hispanics who vote for him think he doesn't mean them. Yeah, I mean that's the reality. Like one of the things that irritated the hell out of me was like, oh, like, and y'all know I'm Puerto Rican, love being Puerto Rican, but at the same time, one of the things that irritated me was all the Puerto Ricans who all of a sudden, when that joke was made at Madison Square Garden, they were like appalled. And then all of a sudden, oh, we don't want to vote for for Trump. It's like, why were you going to vote for him before? Like I don't get that. Why is it just this joke that was the one for you? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Let me see. I had some stuff in my bookmarks. Why do I have to teach it? Oh my God. Oh, do you? Oh no. That means you gotta get to bed soon, huh? Did they get you? Maybe that's what it was, Taylor. That I would never get that. Mm-mm. He buses people into rallies, then abandons them to walk back, and they still vote for him. It's like an abusive relationship. As long as they voted appalled, yeah, they should have been appalled way back. Right, exactly. Exactly. That was my whole issue with them. And I'm like, I love my culture and all that shit. But at the same time, it's like y'all got to do better. If this is the only thing that made you want to not vote for Trump, then that that's insane, insane. And now look at where we're at. Now look where we're at now. Maybe it hasn't updated yet on Let me unmute it. Hold on.
With his 6 electoral votes too close to call, 37.
The train is mad. Hey, Poetic Justice.
Is, Kamala Harris leading, but that is.
Look, man. I know some people who couldn't vote because of
vote difference in Minnesota.
Because of like issues with paperwork and all that.
Yep, we're gonna be.
It's a terrible situation, to be quite frank. If I didn't already know what a piece of shit he was before 2016, all I would have known in 2016 after the grabber by the, yeah. It's like going back to the same person that gave you STDs over and over. Yeah, I know, right? Like, what the hell? Like, why would you do that?
County, but she's kind of where she wants to be. She's doing a little better in Pima County. Again, half the vote is out, but she's overperforming there than where Biden was 4 years
Arizona.
ago. When you go to the Trump counties, okay, places like Yuma, 52% in 2020. Again, there's only 35% of the vote in, but he's at 64%. And we can actually, we move the state over here. I'm going to pop over all the red counties, and you can see how he's overperforming. 68. Now, 71. We go a little further, Mojave, 75. He's at 76. We'll come over here to Navajo, 53. He's at 61. Still half the votes out over there. Finally, 58 and 60%. So you can see, I want to show you an interesting stat, though. So remember where this race is right here, right? It's neck and neck. Let's go to the Senate race here, and it's a much different story. Look how much ahead Gallego is over Kerry Lake right here. So you could have that split ticket voter effect in Arizona happening right now. Again,
that's
Gallego's
interesting.
at 52%, Kerry Lake's at 46. When we come back to the president's race, 50-49. So you can see what's happening there. We even heard Jen Psaki talking about this, right? There could be voters who, the border's important to them. The economy is obviously important to them as well.
Look, Louis, if he wins, gotta just hope for the best. Quite frankly, that's really what it boils down to. Because if we're going by like Project 2025 and all that stuff, it's not looking too good. And like they're gonna try and move, forward on taking more rights away from people. So I don't know, man. I know some people talk about moving. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but
Democrat, they didn't think this was going to be a tough race for them. This is a little tough right now, but again, a lot of the vote is still out in Clark County. Let's see. You can see how compared to Biden, she's slightly underperforming Biden, but again, there's more than 20% of the vote out in Clark County. I don't want to make too much assumptions about Nevada without sort of a majority of all of Clark County in, or at least 90% in Washoe, which is more reflective of the entire state. Neck and neck there. I would say, I think it's fair to say at this point with the vote where it is, Sam Brown is
right, chicken tender. I'm going over there. That's what I'm doing.
Not great news for Democrats right now, but it's still a lot of the vote is out in Las Vegas, and that's what's going to really decide this election, Savannah.
Yeah, and we're waiting for them.
I just hope for the best no matter what. Yeah, that's true, for real. This ain't even just up to them. We got to remember there's a lot of strings that got to be pulled. They're really just just the face of the decision. Yeah. That's true.
But we can see how this is a very red state.
Obviously, she's getting New York.
At 51 right now, so he's sort of underperforming. But look, it's
all right. So she's getting New York. Well, that doesn't surprise me.
But this is one we're going to be watching closer as we. There's still a lot of counties that haven't even reported votes. So still very early in Montana, but the Republican Tim Sheehy's on top.
All right, Tom, thanks very much. We're back with our panel now, along with our guest, Claire McCaskill, former Democratic senator from Missouri.
Do y'all want to listen to this panel, or do y'all want me to put on something else while we wait for some updates?
Both here with us tonight. Claire, let me start with you. We may hear
Oh shit, I muted him. My
What
bad.
can he say that will make it a less bitter moment for those on the left?
Oh boy, that's a really hard question. First of all, do I think he will? Will he try to reach out and be a unifier and
No, he's not.
try to
No,
acknowledge that this country is divided,
no,
incredibly divided? I don't think he will.
no, he's not. His campaign is
That's not how he got
built on
elected.
separation.
And
Yeah.
I don't know him. You could probably answer this better than I could, but it doesn't seem like to me that this
That's
would
true,
be the moment
Stolas.
where he would not try to be his authentic self, which is I'm a marauder, I'm a disruptor, I'm somebody who I'm going to be your fighter against everything you hate about government. I think he'll stay with that kind of theme
Well,
tonight.
let me ask Mark, is that how he ran? I mean, has he, stretch it one more question further, has he made the process more coarse in general, the key to getting elected president?
Well, I think obviously he's got his own unique style, and he speaks in his language. But I also think when we were talking about this earlier,
All right, Taylor. Have a
talking
good
about
night.
it,
Sleep
the
well.
Democrats had made the decision to basically just campaign to be anti-Trump, and for the last 10 years, it's been primarily anti-Trump.
Louis, don't
down the stairs with him as president-elect.
don't let it get you too down.
In 2016, and I thought actually he gave a much more open speech to bringing the country together, because that was his first moment speaking as president-elect in 2016 in the wee hours over here at the Manhattan Hilton. And so it'll be interesting to see if he's going to hit on his campaign themes.
I mean, let's remember we have seen him on the national stage for 8 years. I mean, I covered him in the White House.
But this is the thing, like, I was just talking about this earlier, where like Trump has convinced a bunch of people. Like, people have been so frustrated with sort of like the overly polished appearance of politicians and the, like the what they would consider corruption, which is everything, right? There is corruption, but like, there's also good things that politicians can do and have done. So it's like, but there's this overwhelming, like, disappointment with politicians, with politics, with, the status quo, so to speak. And so Trump has convinced a bunch of people that he's one of them. And it will never not be intriguing to me, because growing up in New York, seeing how Trump was in my entire life, at least, through like the lens of like a New Yorker, like he's always been a spoiled brat, and he's always been a bigot. So
Campaign trail.
Well, that's what he ran for, and it's perhaps going to prevail on that way of being. I don't know.
well, I knew some people were gonna kind of be feeling like a little helpless at home and stuff. That's why I started up the live stream. So, give y'all a place to talk to people and, sound off a little bit.
Well, remember though, he even after he won election in 2016, he still
No, I agree, honey. Yep.
So win or lose, it is something that he has a pattern of doing.
I remember in days after the 2016 election, he and his staff summoned network anchors, executives for an off-the-record meeting.
No, he ain't never paid his bills.
To say we were under the impression it was going to be a reset meeting. It was not.
Well, and that I think.
So you got chewed out?
You got chewed
Sounds like it.
I know, Nurse Meow.
Lines on that one.
Crazy.
What time it was.
Yeah. Well, just to speak to that, I mean, again, we don't have to rehash all of it here, and we're still waiting for Pennsylvania to be called, but he is somebody who has called journalists the enemies of the people. Just at a rally recently, he talked about being surrounded by bulletproof glass.
Pennsylvania is scary.
In an attempted assassination, again, they'd have to shoot through the media first, and he'd be okay with that. His campaign tried to suggest that's not what he said, but that is the kind of language that we have heard from him consistently.
And remember how he launched his campaign, vowing retribution. And in recent weeks and days, we've heard him talk about his political rivals as being the enemy from within. His vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance, has spent a lot of time answering for that in interviews that he has done.
Well, just to bring everybody up to date, 1:30 on the East Coast, and we are awaiting Donald Trump, who's expected to speak at the Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach, Florida. Battlegrounds remain to be called, and so there still is a narrow path. Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania for Kamala Harris.
Come on.
And the reason you're hearing this tone from Democrats and Republicans alike the trend lines are indicating that it will be a Trump victory, but this has not been called yet. So you have the audience there waiting to hear from the former president. These are the uncalled battleground states. Those are the trend lines that we're talking about. Pennsylvania, a healthy Trump margin there with 94% of the vote in. Those states out west, Arizona and Nevada, we may not know about those for.
Bridget, that don't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me at all. X is always awful, man, but it has been particularly annoying as of late. I'll agree with that. Yep. I think we as people, no matter what, have to learn how to be less divided. Yeah, yep.
In DC, letting them know
And he wasn't helping that, like he helps people to be more,
tomorrow morning, Wednesday,
divided
well,
and
it is
stuff.
Wednesday
So
morning here on the East Coast, but in a few hours
Don't
from
rub it
now.
in. Yeah, and we should. It's worth noting in 2016, after his victory, he appeared in the 2 a.m. hour to make his remarks.
Come on, don't concede, Harris. Come on.
We saw that motorcade a bit earlier crossing the bridge in West Palm. So we don't have any timing as to what we may hear.
Well, we know we won't hit traffic because of the hour and also the motorcade, but we are expecting him. And we've been talking about, what tone he might strike. And also, Mark Lauder, you were there, you know him. Let's just pretend he listens to his advisors. What would you advise him to say tonight?
I would outline what we have to get done. And first off, we have 74 days, if I'm going off my quick math, before you actually take the oath of office. So I would obviously want to get right to work. You would obviously praise your staff. Unlike what you would normally do in a traditional speech this way, you will have not talked to your opponent unless something strange happens between now and then, and she calls. They reach out and call.
This victory will empower the most divisive elements in our society: nationalism, racism, sexism, and anti-globalization. I mean, it'll give it, how do you call?
You have a mandate.
Yeah, it'll empower. You said it. You said it correctly.
He didn't run to the center. He ran to the base, and the base, it seems poised to elect him. So what would the mandate be if you're him? What is it the mass deportation? Is it the tariffs, for example? He's been very clear about his policy.
I think first and foremost,
Come on, y'all.
It'll be energy, the economy, extending.
What up, Red Feather?
And then I think you will get into illegal immigration. I think you will get into in some of those other areas. But ultimately, I think that's first where you go. Also, will depend on if you have the House. If you have the House and the House comes with you on this, then you have obviously both chambers. You'll have unified control. And that changes a lot.
He will effectively be a one-term president. What does that mean in terms of how he would govern?
You have 8 months to get something done before they start running for re-election. No, in reality, you obviously you're going to have your 4 years, but as we both know, you get that 100 days, maybe that 6 months before Congress goes and starts acting in their interest for their reelection, their campaign interests. You're going to have what I assume would be a.
Thank you, Poetic Justice. Yeah, drop a like. Thank you.
Be your successor, and then obviously the Democrats will have.
Like the stream, y'all.
How would you see that rolling out?
Well, I think it depends on whether or not the House is controlled by the Democrats. Remember when Trump got elected last time, he had the House and the Senate. He had all three. And there was, he struggled. He got the tax cuts done. But that was really the only, he didn't repeal Obamacare. He didn't build the wall. He didn't do a lot of the things he had promised to do, even though he had all three houses. So I worry that if the Democrats.
Thank you, Zuflu. Thank you.
Then whatever he doesn't get done will be Hakeem Jeffries' fault, as opposed to his inability to produce on the promises he's made. But if we don't take the House, then I think he's got a tall order, and I think he's got to do the tariffs. I don't, and he doesn't need Congress for that. He can do the tariffs.
Here's the silver lining, if you will.
Worried about the lines of those countries being redrawn fairly quickly.
And I'm using silver lining
Orban and other
very loosely.
now will feel this is a green light.
If he wins, he can't rerun. Like, he can't run again. Put your head down. Do what you got to do. Wait until he's out of the office. That's all you can do.
we start speculating too much.
That's all I got for y'all.
And part of me,
Don't get up. I know some people said they're gonna move to another country. I mean,
on the other hand,
but
they also will be a
for those of us who may not be able to move to another country,
If the Republicans hold on to the House,
you
they
know,
have the Senate. If they win the White House,
I've lived through a Bush presidency. I've lived through, like,
the Republicans in
we'll be
charge
all
of
right.
every branch
We
of
gonna
government
be all
in
right.
this country.
And not to raise this specter, but it is possible that if Donald Trump wins another term, if that happens, and we have not called
True,
Pennsylvania
Ani.
or the race yet, so big ifs here.
You're right. Y'all right. I'm just trying to find.
If there is a Republican Senate,
Right.
in the White House as well, and then the court could become even more conservative. Again, potentially.
Right, poetic.
Down that road. Let's see how the night shakes out. But since you brought it up, Savannah, just to throw that in.
But let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope that
The Commonwealth of Pennsylvania.
We've been talking so much about those collar counties.
I know Jay Game. I really know. Like I'm just trying to keep some hope alive.
Highway's not exact, but
I know if it's up to him, he'll make it so that he can just be, and then I'll move to Canada finally. That'll be it.
If you will, in Pennsylvania, because I want to show you how important this is. So when we start, we can start right here. We'll start in York County, overperforming in York County. As we move up, Lancaster, about even there. We'll keep going. Berks County here, overperforming.
I know, Ani.
There. We go to Lehigh now. She's underperforming. Harris is underperforming from Biden. Trump is overperforming.
What are y'all drinking? I'm drinking a Modelo.
Again, Easton, PA. Again, he flips
Okay.
the county, overperforming there. And I want to show you the polls, guys, right? This was the exit poll that sort of, I don't want to say it surprised us, but this told us that the story was going to be different tonight. This is Trump support among Latino voters in Pennsylvania. Look at this number, 2020, 27%. In 2024, 41%. It was just not Latino voters. And again, I know this could change. These are early exit polls. So look at the breakdown here. White, 55, 57. But even black voters, he grew his margins there from 2020 to 2024. And again, that Latino margin, that spread right there. And
Man, I'm so upset at I'm so upset at Latinos.
That joke that was made about Puerto Rico and Puerto Ricans and how it would affect the race and how it would affect what happened in Pennsylvania. So far, we have not seen it have any tremendous effect. Again, we'll get all the data post-Thanksgiving and we'll be able to sort of figure all that out. But right now, it looks like it's not affecting those Latino counties in Pennsylvania. I do want to get a check-in.
Crazy.
On how the collar counties are doing around Philadelphia. And again, Biden's number, where Trump is, this is statewide.
Oh, Pinot Noir.
County. Harris is underperforming. Still about 15% of the vote left out there. Montgomery.
I know she's doing really well in Philly though, but I don't know if that's enough to like.
Delco, 62%, 61%. Almost about the same. But again, if you want to win Pennsylvania, you have to be at the same mark as Biden or higher. And then Philadelphia right now.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, she's doing really well in Philly.
More than 15% of the vote is still out there, so she could claw that back. And I don't want to forget Bucks County here. This is the big.
All right, chicken tender. Look, don't tempt me, okay?
Because Democrats need to win this. They need to win all the collar counties.
Ooh, wine.
In 2020 tonight, Harris.
All right, Louis.
He may possibly flip Bucks County. 75% in. Hallie Jackson's the Bucks County expert here, so I'll leave it to her.
No, correct me if I'm wrong. It was Biden County in 2016 as well, right? By a slim margin.
It was Clinton County. Yeah.
All right, come on, y'all. Let's try and keep some hope up.
Yeah, Hallie, you're right. This is the only.
Let me see if I can find that song.
Thought they had a chance in, or could at least claw back some of the vote, maybe peel back some of the Democratic support. And tonight it looks like it's happened. We're still waiting on a quarter of the vote. But that's a strong. When you see a number like that in Bucks County, you know it's going to be a tough night for Democrats.
And as we talk about the education gap here in this race, I will just point out that
we gonna be all right.
Bigger education gap than you see in some of those other Philadelphia suburban counties as well. You have an area like Lower Bucks, you see more sort of that blue collar voter there.
And the fact that Erie County also is going for Trump, that's a huge bellwether in the state. And that's why Democrats who are texting me are saying all of these signs are just not headed in the right.
Well, I mean, Joe Biden, of course, picked up, he did better, in some of those rural places. He, is sort of from Scranton or Scranton adjacent, grew up there, but then obviously went on.
Ooh, Stolas.
Home state, but I mean, he did better in some of these rural places that we're talking about.
Well, what was interesting is that when Biden won it, when Obama won it, he drew
Y'all want to hear a song? Do y'all want to hear a song?
Population.
While they do their panel, or y'all want to hear the panel? Let me know.
Did well in the collar counties, but Biden really won it because.
They're finished, Louis. They're not gonna have no money.
Pennsylvania's so different.
everyone's speechless here. I guess it really is 1:40 in the morning, except for they're not speechless. They're cheering there at Trump headquarters
I think we can
at
go
West
there.
Palm. Yeah, I think we must be getting close to that moment with Donald Trump. This motorcade, we saw it coming, so I think.
Oh, he's going to talk. He's going to speak. All right, here we go.
Listen to him and hear what
Trump
Donald
might be
has to say.
speaking soon.
Savannah, I can tell you right now, the anticipation far outpaces the available information about.
Yeah, no song. Poetic Justice was your song. Ani said no song.
We're getting a lot of cheers from a crowd who is anticipating a victory.
This ain't a testament to. Somebody put it on TikTok. They said POV. I'm paraphrasing, but they said POV, foreigner wondering how America's having such a hard time picking between a convicted felon and an overqualified woman, something like that. And I was like, yo, we should, as a country, we should be so ashamed of ourselves that we are this close in a race. Like, I mean, and a bunch of like people that are from like other countries was in the comments like, yeah, I can't believe that they're having this hard of a time like deciding.
Over to Peter Alexander at Harris headquarters, where they're shutting it down. Cedric Richmond had just came out a little earlier saying,
Oh, Stolas, I think 100%.
But we will
100%.
Any further word there, Peter?
Yeah, I think most accurate to say that we are shutting it down at this point, shy of 2 o'clock here. We're the only ones left, a matter of reporters here who are sort of bundling up their gear in anticipation of the vice president returning to Howard University, her alma mater, as we were told. I guess it's later today. She'll be speaking today, Wednesday, not just to her supporters, but to a national audience as well. Obviously, this thing isn't done yet.
Kamala, you better not concede.
The expressions we saw, the information we're getting from those in and around the Harris campaign, it doesn't feel like a winning night for them, a successful campaign. We heard a funeral type atmosphere from those top donors who were gathered at a hotel not far from here. Kamala Harris arrived at this location, not dissimilar to Hillary Clinton in 2016 when it was one of her aides who came out and said she wouldn't be speaking, that she would deliver remarks the next day. Ultimately, it was then when she delivered a concession. So they're keeping close eyes on Pennsylvania, but the bottom line is, you know, there are key demographics and critical counties and crucial states where they're just underperforming.
That's what I'm saying, Louis. Don't concede.
We have another call in Nebraska in the split electoral votes. NBC News projects that Donald Trump will win 4 of the 5. There's the difference. This is District 3. Donald Trump, the projected winner. And you can see 58% of the vote is in there.
And District 2 remains outstanding. That's the one in Omaha, adjacent district.
They do stuff.
And is expected to tonight as well. I think we await District 2. We just saw.
I mean, I know that
drawing closer to the magic 270 that would put him over the top and hand in the White
come
House.
on, man.
Comments stay with us. NBC News election night coverage continues right after this short
I'm gonna
break.
throw my laptop across the thing. I'm throwing my damn laptop. Crypto bros, look, please. I know. Those fucking I know. It was those Joe Rogan bros that sold us out. It's like at some point, I think with the internet and with the fact that people have access to like each other and access to information, whether it be right or wrong, is a great thing, but then it's also a big problem because even like bad ideas can get a platform, and there are a lot of lazy thinkers, and because of that, shit like this can it kind of, and I think also to some degree, like Trump knew who to target when he did want to campaign, when he did want to go. He knew what groups to target, and he's done that successfully. Yeah, woosah, yep. A huge loss of critical thinking. Yeah, exactly. It's watching the MAGA jerks gloat the next 3 months. I know, right? Oh, Chicken Tender, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Officially lost faith in humanity. It's so like disheartening, when it comes to the things that are at stake, and the fact that I was just talking about that too. Like, I was on TikTok, and you see all these women, and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to cancel out my husband's vote," and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, "Why are you still? Why are you not canceling that marriage? Like, why are you still married to a person that will actively like vote against your best interest?" I don't understand that. And that's like not as uncommon as, we think, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I mean, I'm glad I don't have to worry about that, but at the same time, like, it's so many that do. Huge indemnification of our education system. He's always going to know how to shift the narrative. He's been on TV for years. Yeah, exactly. Poetic justice. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. Do we? Yep. Sounds like these remind me most of the population ain't shit. Right. It's depressing. Good thing Trump wants to cancel the Department of Education. Yeah, exactly. Zoo Flute. When I was like listening to those TikToks, I'm like I want to do a video on them, but
Challenger is
I was just like,
look, you can see right there, 51-41.
I couldn't look at my husband in the face if I'm like, hey, as it is, we have it to where if we live in the wrong state, and and I get pregnant, and something happens to where I get sick, and the choice between my life, or like between saving me or not, is in an abortion, and I can't get that life-saving abortion because of a stupid fuck, because of this bullshit. And to look at my husband, and for my husband to be like, sounds fine to me, you know what I mean? Like, how do you like reconcile with that? I couldn't. I'd be like, you gotta go, my guy. Like, we can't do this no more. And I know some people are like, oh, you really break up over politics. Yeah, because it's like a fundamental like difference there. It's not like what cheese is best. This is like my life versus, your taxes, because that's typically where you see the I can't imagine staying married to a person who actively voted against my rights as a human. Right, exactly. Do you ever think we're over as an empire? I think the rest of the world will write us off now and turn towards the EU. I think a lot of people are looking at America all over the world and really not understanding how we've gotten here, and I don't blame them. I would be like, somebody, it was a TikTok, or well, it was on TikTok that I saw it, and they were going around like, I think it was France or something like that, and they were asking like, who would you vote for, Kamala or Trump? Almost everybody Kamala. And like Europe, like our centrists are like considered still kind of right wing Europe or whatever. Our left wing is kind of considered centrist over there. Like, their left wing is really, really, really left wing, or what we would consider here radical. Um, it makes me sad. I've always said, save me, right? Exactly, Zoo Fruit.
Awaiting what they hope and believe will be an appearance by Donald Trump.
So he's supposed to. Oh God, y'all know I do love a Donald Trump speech, because he's an insane person. So I like,
And you saw the crowds cheering a few moments ago. Another network has called the race for Trump, which explains the cheers inside the headquarters. We have not. Just a reminder.
I know, Stolas. Yep.
It crunches those numbers. And the motto there is they don't need to be first, they need to be right. And we really do exercise an abundance of caution.
Somebody I'm looking for here, and I don't know if he's in this convention center or if he's still in Mar-a-Lago with former President Trump, is Elon Musk, because he potentially may have
That's
ended
true,
up being a
Zufu.
factor in this race if, in fact, we do call Pennsylvania for former
He is a
President Trump.
local, Louis.
The super PAC put a ton of money
He's a
into
rich
Donald Trump
local.
state, did that very controversial $1 million a day giveaway to people who would sign a petition arguing.
Oh, what you cooking, Poetic Justice? What you got? What you got going on over there?
Like $118 million that he poured into this.
All right, yeah. So we got Hawaii.
And has become a very close ally of his. it speaks to what we've been talking about. Young men. There's this picture: Mar-a-Lago, Elon Musk, Dana White, UFC guy, out there with.
Well, by the way, speaking of, I mean, first of all,
You know, I was laughing because you know how they always say like these countries are not sending their best, like they're sending criminals and stuff. And I was like thinking about Elon Musk, and I'm like, you know what, they might be right. These countries are sending their worst. Deport him now. Send him back.
in the government, so we'll see if he keeps that promise.
And he is, again, a very
Oh,
controversial figure
Lord.
here, talking about children's health. He's big in the sort of anti-vaccine movement. Former President Trump has said just recently that he would be in favor of him sort of being in position. Remember, there's also this interesting dynamic where RFK ended up.
Oh,
on the
that
ballot
sounds
in
good,
one of these
Poetic
blue wall
Justice.
states. You saw former President Trump traveling with him to Michigan and Wisconsin. It seems like to remind people, no, he's with me, right? Put my name at the top of the ticket, not RFK Jr.'s, but he has been brought into the Trump fold as well.
Well, Elon Musk is so fascinating because he was actually in charge of part of the Get Out the Vote effort.
That's how I fry chicken, Poetic Justice, with no flour. I just put it in the air fryer.
Asked her about this. She said, "Look, it's unconventional. This is what we're doing. The campaign is also involved, but the bottom line, it seems to have worked, at least in some of these states that we've called so far."
We just saw the actor John Voight among those gathered waiting to hear from President Trump. I think we have former President Trump, Garrett Haight, at Trump headquarters in West Palm. Are you getting any guidance on the timing?
It is, Poetic
Dan,
Justice.
I've
It
got nothing
is.
but bad news for you. I have no guidance, and in fact, Trump campaign officials who are texting me back have no guidance. So we're
So
all
he's
just
not going
waiting
up there?
here for the former president, I think, to make the decision to come speak. You mentioned another network having called this race. Obviously,
Ladies and gentlemen,
we have made NBC News not making any projection, but I do think that will weigh on him.
we're
Trump's
winning
thinking now that
bigly.
his audience here in the room believes he has won. I've not laid eyes on Elon Musk yet, but I have seen Tucker Carlson, who was part of the sort of core group of folks.
Ooh, fry bread. I love fry bread.
Everyone who was there has decamped for the convention center. So really, the stage is set for Donald Trump's moment whenever he chooses to take it. And this crowd is ready. I've been watching people who in many cases have been here for hours and enjoying the cash bar.
Stolen.
Hugging and smiling and dancing along to the program, ready for a big celebration that has been very long time coming.
Let me ask you. We've been reporting for weeks that this is going to be a tie, and we've seen what Democrats now see.
No, then we could potentially get left with Vance.
Was there concern that there, but for the grace of God, go I. Republicans could have gone in the same direction as the Dems.
When I talk to people within the
She has
days,
Massachusetts.
there were a lot of nerves because what they were
Did
trying
she
to
get
do
Minnesota? I don't know.
They had a theory that they could expand the electorate, they could turn out all these new voters, they could convince young men to show up and vote, and it was totally unproven. And the Trump campaign ethos in general, from the top down, is to be.
We got to get rid of the electoral college,
until
man.
you are proven wrong, and so that's mostly what they projected. But in these last couple days, they saw the same polls we did. They saw, I think, the vice president's closing message. They saw Donald Trump's failing to deliver the.
There's this guy that does Vance impersonations on YouTube, and it's pretty hilarious.
To prove it to be true, and I can tell you, I have gotten several text messages from Trump campaign staffers and major donors, basically saying, "See, we told you so." I mean, for them, it was always going to be either a close Kamala Harris victory in their view, or a sweep potentially of the battleground states if their theory was right. They have felt minute by minute and hour by hour tonight that the evidence is pointing towards their theory being right, and we won't know till all the votes are counted.
For people to think that like Biden was like incoherent and all of that, and still he won, is wild. That Kamala is not winning,
Some words when we might hear from him,
given that
again, this race has not been by this network. This network still
that criticism wouldn't work with her. You know what I mean?
And when it's ready to speak, our decision.
That's true, Zoo Flute.
Who will be if, in fact, former President Trump does well in Pennsylvania, and we call that race for him, etc. Who will be in his ear? Who will be in his inner circle? And as we're talking about some of this, it may be striking.
Blush,
yep. 2016, Jared Kushner was such a presence on the trail. His son-in-law, Ivanka Trump, his daughter, Melania Trump, has been a rare presence on the campaign trail, campaigning for her husband this time. And both Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner have largely taken a back seat. They've kept an arm's length away from domestic
Yeah,
politics
they've
here,
been
and have
gone.
not been on the trail much. They may be here tonight if, in fact, he comes out and gives some sort of big speech. They may line up as part of the family, but they have not been a presence in the way that they were.
Well, let's also not forget that 40-year-old J.D. Vance, who served in the United States.
Remember when Trump was saying Philly was doing a
becoming the vice president of the United States.
voter
78 years old. So I mean, this is
when he was saying that there was like corruption already, like before they even started counting them.
I think this is actually a better opportunity for him coming back after the 4 years in between. Because normally, when you have the second term, you just shuffle the chairs on the deck. You've got the number two person was really good, so we'll move them up to number one, and maybe I'll move you over to another. He's cleaning house. I mean, the house got cleaned, and now he's able to rebuild the entire thing.
I think he will. But for example, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Do you think he says, you know what, I'll give you the FDA or the health department?
But you know what? There's a lot of women who also don't like women. You know, like there's a lot of women. Now, let me lower this. There's a lot of women who would have voted for Trump because they also like are internally misogynist. You know what I mean? Like that's like that's the and then to add, you know, not only when it comes to Kamala, not only that she's a woman, but her race, her ethnicity, all of that also has a lot to do with that as well. So it was, you know, but yeah, it's women, it's, you know, especially a black woman, especially, you know, I know some people say she's not black, she's, and I don't give a shit, but she ain't white, and that's what it is. Um, Pearl Davis. Damn us for bleeding 5 days without dying. Right. Yeah. The patriarchy is an insidious fiend to be sure. Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. I had a white grandma and we talked a lot. She told me white women get their personalities mostly from their fathers and male role models. I don't know how true that is, but it stuck with me. That's interesting.
And of course,
Because you see, like, that was one of the things that I saw even on TikTok, like looking through, and like there were women, like, you know, there's this like TikTok trend where the women are like, putting like the real sad music, and they're like, how, you know, thinking about my anxiety is at an all time high because, um, as a woman, I don't want to lose. Like, I can't remember. Like, it was just like stuff that they think Trump is going to protect as it pertains to women, which is hilarious. Um, and there were people in the comments like, "Wait, is this for real? Like, are you serious? Because if you don't want to lose these rights and shit like that, then Trump ain't the one to vote for." But I mean, it's like, are you unironically saying this?
Well, I think a lot of times you have to realize how to communicate with him and also what your role is. I mean,
What's up, Tank Girl?
this is one of the big disagreements I think we had in Washington D.C. and with the bureaucracy in general is to provide advice, to provide consent, to provide your best recommendation. But there's only one person who put their name on the line and was elected by the people of America to be the president of the United States.
Where you had a thought, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think one of the things that a lot of people will be looking at is the military. You know, we have a civilian-controlled military in the United States, but there is a deep ethos in the military, especially in the leadership, about the separation of politics and the military. And Trump at times tried to blur that line and was frustrated, I think, because he could not get the military to do what he thought they ought to do when they ought to do it sometimes. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the Pentagon handles this, because there are so many strong leaders in our military, and they have come up through the ranks, and they have transferred their families all over the world, and they have learned everything.
Oh, you can't cancel that? Damn, Zoo Flu.
There could be some bumps in the road as to how he handles.
Look at the battlegrounds. He like, oh Lord.
There were a number of administration officials who were there because they felt as though they could say no to him. They felt as though they were protecting the government.
So Arizona.
And by all accounts, this will be a very different second term. He was doing an interview with Sean Hannity, and Sean Hannity asked him if he would be a dictator, and he said only on day one. And of course, some of his supporters said, "Look,
No,
this
not at all,
really
Louis.
is
Hell
a
no.
joke." But the reality is, I think this administration will look a lot different. There will be people there who will support, and the question is, how many will be able to
Yes,
question him, to challenge him? But he
Stolas.
also has his eye on
Very
people
important.
like Governor Doug Burgum, Senator Marco Rubio, obviously Elon Musk, as we have discussed, as potential people who would return to a second administration.
To sort of put it super simply
Chicken
here,
tender.
this is the case that Vice President Harris made for the duration of her 107-day campaign, which was that if Donald Trump gets
Come
back in office,
on.
her argument was that he would be potentially more dangerous in the first term, she said, because the people who acted as a check around him will be gone. And I think that's what we're talking about here. Who will be around?
They haven't
That's the
said
big
nothing yet,
question
Pecan
here.
Pie.
Clearly, that is an
Nothing
argument
yet.
that did not resonate with voters in Georgia.
Right
It did not
now,
resonate with voters
it's
in North Carolina. It did not resonate with
looking a little scary because in all the battleground states, Trump is in the lead. Some not by a whole lot, but still, like Harris is not leading in any of the battleground states, and he's already won two battleground states, Georgia and North Carolina.
winning. Again, we have not called it, but winning Pennsylvania, which would be essentially ball game
And potentially the popular vote
and
as well.
which for the first time he's never had that before, right? And so, and we don't even know, could this be a
Yeah, he's never had the
that's a
popular
huge
vote.
question mark too. So
Because
listen,
even with
he's been
Hillary, he
very
lost
clear
the
about his
popular vote.
policies, the things he wants to put in place. We talked about tariffs. If he has a Republican House and Senate, suddenly perhaps that makes it easier to find the money that he will
A
need, the
Republican
enormous amount
House,
of money
a
to carry
Republican
out those mass
Senate.
deportations, for example. And so there are going to be some policy implications depending on
Bruh.
which way Congress goes.
Well, I mean, Project 2025, which the former president has disavowed, but it has to be acknowledged, has folks who have worked for him and people that he has consulted with all over it. And there's a lot of talk in that document about getting rid of the so-called
Look,
DC
Pecan,
tax.
I'm holding off.
Because
I'm
the
I'm
view from the
hoping
Trump
that.
campaign and the Trump
Well, I
base
just
is
hope
that
she doesn't
that deep
concede. I
state,
hope she
there
lets
are
it
people
play
that
out.
were an
Don't
obstacle to
concede.
what he wanted to do inside the administration. Mark, how
Yeah,
seriously
yeah,
do you
poetic
think
justice. Yep.
he will take that?
Well, I think he will take. I don't speak for the former president or his campaign, and I.
We've got
Saved by the bell.
an important call to make here.
Moments away from calling one of the key
Told to stand
battlegrounds.
by. Yes, NBC News can now project that Donald Trump will win in the state of Pennsylvania. 18 electoral
No.
votes. Here's where it stands right now. Donald Trump out in front.
Oh my
Just
God,
about
bro.
88,000 votes. 95% of the vote in Pennsylvania, and that goes in the Donald Trump column.
And with that, it's expected that he will have the 270 votes he needs. I see you puzzling over there. Nebraska. Yeah.
No, crazy.
No.
We haven't called Alaska.
Stolas, yes.
But once Alaska gets called and Nebraska, you can see former President Trump, he had to get to 270. He's likely to get to 272, if not higher. We still haven't called Wisconsin or Michigan as well, but he is on his way. NBC News
This is
on his way back to the White House.
And we were told he is perhaps a minute away now from coming on the stage at the campaign headquarters in West Palm Beach and to make his remarks to the crowd.
This is
I'm
insane.
not quite sure what they're listening to, but they have been
like
Well, this is history, not since Grover Cleveland in the 1880s.
Georgia messed up.
Returned to office after that gap. So a second term after a
PA.
gap of time. 4 years later, Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States, as he was the 45th president of the United States. Sweep of several battleground states. Several battleground states still not decided, but the magic number of 270 electoral votes has been reached, and we will have many hours and days.
Yeah, yes,
that he put together, but this is the scene at Trump headquarters in West Palm Beach as Donald J. Trump once again will assume the presidency on January 20th. The United States Senate will be in Republican hands. Democrats have lost control of the Senate, and the fate of the House of Representatives, currently in Republican hands, also in question. Democrats just need 4 seats to pick up to get control of the House. That would be the one check on
Come
Republican
on,
power.
man.
But it may well be that they sweep the House as well. So we
Yeah, because I think there's no way
this long
at this
campaign
point.
is over, and we await the former president to make his
Tom,
remarks.
to be clear, how does he get to 270 now? He's at 266.
Yeah, so right now he's at 266.
Oh my
If we
God.
fill in-
What's up, No Name? How are you?
Sometimes when we get to a certain point, you can no longer fill in some.
And the kids came out, like the Gen Z was
and
like,
then we go back. Oh,
they
Maine,
weren't playing
there's a
around.
congressional district in Maine that we're still waiting on. You can see Maine is not filled out yet. There's a congressional district in Maine. Once he gets there, he'll get past 270, or he'll get right to 270, and that's where he'll stand.
Jesus, bruh.
He'll likely get to 272. Again, and we haven't called Wisconsin and Michigan, so it could grow from there. But as Savannah mentioned, we got to 270. That's the magic number. We're projecting that Pennsylvania is a win for former President Trump. He is headed back to the White House.
This is all, of course, assuming that Alaska and Nebraska and the Maine district go the way that we expect them to go. So just
I'm good. How are you, No Name? How's everything going on with you? How you holding up? I know.
Pennsylvania here. The thing I'm looking for, a couple of things. What is the Harris campaign going to say and do now? Because the last that we heard from them, of course, it was Cedric Richmond taking the stage. That memo had suggested to staffers, listen, we've got the blue wall.
Stole us.
In Philadelphia. We have now called Pennsylvania. That is incredibly significant here. And so do we hear from, if not her, as we don't expect.
At least maybe now we'll get some checks. I don't know. Oh man, this is disappointing.
And will she call him to concede? I mean, that's my question. If you'll
Nah, don't concede. I wouldn't concede. I will wait. All right, I hear you, No Name.
call Donald Trump that night to concede.
And the next morning,
Bubby Chew, I don't blame
I
you.
believe late morning, if memory serves, she did, and I think the Democratic
Look,
signal that she will.
I would
address
never
the
move to a
country
red state.
tomorrow, and
Like,
they certainly
no
read
way.
the tea leaves and
Absolutely
saw
not.
which way this was headed, and so we believe and project that he will reach at least the 270 votes that he needs.
Well, and I remember talking to John Podesta in 2016 and saying, have you written a concession speech at the beginning of the night? And he said, no, because we don't even want to think about that. And you have to ask that.
Louis, that's what I was saying earlier today. I'm like, look, just get your mask ready because then it'll be something else. Because, I mean,
49-49. I mean,
I feel you, Stolas. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, but they need you, and that's what's important. But shit, man. If I had the choice, I'm not going to a red state.
There is a distinction here, and I defer, of course, to the.
Well, that makes sense, Zoo Fruit.
There was, in some ways, an air of
That makes sense.
around
Oh, Vidal, you already know. You already know.
Supposed to be on the top of this ticket 6 months ago, right? So there is, it's a very,
This
very
is
different vibe coming in.
damn, man.
Her campaign cast her as the underdog here in this race, not as the sort of heir apparent, if you will. So there are some distinctions here.
By the way, this is the third straight election in which it appears that pollsters have underestimated the Trump vote. I mean, we will see. We don't have all the numbers here, and we can all do the.
Yeah, no, Stolas. That they need you. That's a good thing that you're doing. You know,
in most of these battlegrounds.
I would do the same. If my parents were in a red state, I would have no choice. Oh, my mom. We lost my dad a couple years ago, but actually more than a couple years ago. But if my mom lived in a red state, I would, yeah. And she needed my help, I would definitely move. But if I could get her to me, I'm gonna get her to me.
We were looking in all those battleground states.
Because even now, like, I live in New York and I'm moving to Michigan, so like it's all, you know, like I'm probably not. Michigan is not necessarily blue, but it definitely there's a lot of progressive like laws and stuff like that. I think they consider Michigan like what, purple? So I don't know. There's a lot of progressive laws out there. It's actually pretty good. Biden has immunity. He needs to send Trump to Guantanamo. Right? Like, yo.
The Supreme Court issued a ruling that gave him immunity.
I know, pecan pie. I went and got wine, not much selection and cigarettes. I'm going to be doing a lot more drinking here on and out. Stole this. Yeah, it's considered one of the battleground states. So yeah, it's a swing state. It could go either way.
2 state cases with
but like in a count in the different counties and stuff like that, they have like a lot of progressive things that they do. So like it's better than going to like a straight up red state. But certain parts of Michigan is still red. But even certain parts of New York is like red. Like you go upstate New York, it's a lot. It's red up there. But in the city, obviously, is blue. All right, no name. Well, have a good night. Sleep well.
And he'll fire Jack Smith on day one. And
Thank you,
again,
Poetic
the
Justice.
deportation force, which he has promised to start on day one. So we'll have to see how that all unfolds.
Yes.
Think about what Judge Merchan in New York State Court.
Damn, man. Like this. That's it. I guess that's it. That's all it is.
In any event.
That could mean another Supreme Court intervention to try to find out what.
Because even if
It's an experienced judge. I don't know what he'll do. He may just recognize what's going on. And in the end, it is a business records case.
fuck, man.
So he may decide, okay.
Because even if she gets Michigan, that's
would be in line with similar.
not gonna put her where she needs to be at.
Would be surprised.
Your court TV hat back on.
Damn.
It's like all that legal education put to use here.
On behalf of all PA, I apologize. The Commonwealth shit the bed again. Yeah, seriously, no worries, man. Like, you're forgiven. You're forgiven, not PA. PA fucked up, yo. Oh, Paris takes Trump to caso cerrado. Oh my God, what's her name? Jesus Christ, I can't remember her name. The lady that had the lady that had the damn show and it's in Peru. I can't remember her name. Shit. Pecan Pie, help me if you remember.
By calling Pennsylvania,
Yeah, that's true, Stolas. You can't really
We will wait for the official moment of 200.
Oh, she did?
I can guarantee you Donald Trump is.
Where does that leave her, though?
These are former opponents in the primary who were quickly dispatched and then came over to the Trump side, and perhaps they have stars in their eyes about what role.
Fuck me. I saw the let me mute this. I was on TikTok. I'm always on TikTok, and they was showing in was it Nevada or not Nevada? It was in an area that has a lot of indigenous people, and the line was like around Laura. Thank you, Pecan Pie. Yes, Laura. Yes. They take it a Laura. Yeah, the indigenous folks are not playing around.
Hank, he is there at the Trump headquarters. Can you tell what the audience is listening to?
I used to love that show, PK. That show kind of helped me learn Spanish because I used to watch it so much. I know, Ani.
On Fox News. Beyond that, I'm still embarrassingly bereft of much programming information. The Trump team.
Look, as annoying as it is, and maybe on the next one, she could run again and figure out where she could improve her campaign. I mean, I'm holding out. I'm trying not to like think that it's all is lost right now, and I won't think all is lost until all is lost. But even with all that being said, like, I mean, you just gotta deal with it, like deal with it, and by the time you know it, there'll be another election.
Soon, and beyond that, we are left to wait and wonder with the rest of you as I'm watching staffers make yet another adjustment to the former president's teleprompter on stage.
Yes, it's getting to be late here, and we are awaiting former President Trump, and we're doing a switcheroo here with getting our Capitol Hill correspondent in position.
I don't know, Ani. I mean, the good thing though is that, I mean, unless he does actually make it so that he can, like, how do you call it? That he doesn't have to run again, like he'll just be the president, I guess, dictator, if you will. Unless he was to do something like that, like the only thing you could be hopeful for is the fact that he can't run again. So, like, unless something extreme like that happens, which I don't think it would, but who the hell knows? Um, just hold out on the fact that he can't run again. And the scary part is that another person or the next Republican might come and go double what he did. You know what I mean? Like that is the scary part, that there's this like voter base that wants whatever Trump is selling, and then whatever next Republican comes around will want to sell the same thing, if not more. And that is scary. So I don't, but I like to think that it won't. I like to think that there's that we can battle it. I don't know. What's the alternative? Like, there's no alternative. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
His career attempted to try and break himself from Donald Trump, tried to be a part of this kind of anti-Trump establishment. Maybe he thought that was the future of the Republican Party.
Yeah, but he's in great health. He will surely last the whole term. Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think he'll last the term for sure. Canada and the UK form a coalition to liberate America, right? As long as he doesn't import Putin. Promise blowjobs weekly to all white men who make at least $1 million. That's insane, but I mean, no, he can. You're right, Ani. He can.
The way that it's been, and many of
He
them
can. I'm not even arguing that he can't, for sure. I just don't know how to, you know, I don't know how to. I mean, thinking about like living through Bush presidency and living through some of these other presidents that weren't like the greatest, but we got through it. I can't, you kind of just gotta realize that you're dealing with one of those types of presidents. That's what Putin did. Got in office, put his people in the Supreme Court, and then never left. I know. Look, I 100% understand that the route, and this is why it is so dangerous, the route that he's taking, the rhetoric, the sort of cult following that he has in his voter base is scary, because that is usually how it gets to being a dictatorship. You know what I mean? Like, um, but I try not to be too worried about it, because the alternative was January 6th, pretty much, right?
I do think it's worth
Zoo flu. Yeah, one job.
but think about the political comeback.
I don't think he should have been able to run with the fact that he's a felon, and he's still been able. Like, it's insane the fact that he's even able to run.
And who tried to separate themselves from him, much like you're discussing, Ryan.
That's true, Zuflu.
Written him off politically, who just could not conceive this moment.
I don't blame you, Eric Glover. They praised him and put something under his nose for him to sign. He had no idea what was in it. He doesn't read. That's true. Resistance is so important. True. Bush Jr. is a normal guy who never should have been president. Yeah. I mean, Bush was. Bush had. I can only ever remember him when he said, "You fooled me once, shame on you. You fooled me. What did he say? You fooled me twice. Well, can't be fooled again." Some shit like that. And it was in that moment that I was like, "This guy's an idiot." I can't remember how old I was at the time, but I remember being like, "This guy is stupid." But
I think that was posted by one of his sons, just mentioned by Garrett Hake a few moments ago.
I look at him backstage.
I'm sorry, I was going to say one of the other things. I think there is still some suspense to the evening as it relates to the margin here and to the popular vote, right? Because this is something else that speaks to this idea of a mandate. Because over the course of the last 8 years, one of the things that you often hear said about former President Trump is, well, he doesn't have half the country, right? He's not there. He wins the electoral vote. What does the popular vote look like, and what do these other battlegrounds look like? Yes,
Louis, it is
Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Arizona, Nevada, all still out there.
The fact that he was even allowed to run again, it highlights an even bigger problem. Like, he should not have been able to run again. There's no reason why, given I mean, all the things, like all the how many felonies has he been convicted of or charged with or whatever? Like, he should have been able to run again. Like, Bush Jr. paints portraits of soldiers who died in his wars, and sends them to. Really? Does he do that? That's interesting. I didn't know that. I think being president was hard for him. I didn't know he did that. That's interesting. Maybe it was, like maybe it just wasn't something he wasn't like ready to do.
Kamala Harris's favorable rating, 48%. Donald Trump's,
Like that, I didn't know that about Bush.
people like him less. And
That's
appears
interesting.
that
People
voted
who liked
into
him,
an office.
the people who liked him showed up.
Yeah, I would say so,
Many others as
Stolas.
well.
Like of all the things I've heard of Bush, that's probably the most like.
Play here. His favorite
I was
voting
like,
is
oh,
41%.
They
okay.
may not like him, but they like what he says. They like his policies.
Talk to voters all
Yeah.
the time. They say, "I
Pecan
can't
pie.
stand it."
Like I'm trying to put faith in Benito, but I don't know.
The way, that he picks on people that aren't like him. But I love
Really,
it.
I gotta go look that up. I didn't know that about him. I'm gonna go look that up. That's
I mean, will the lesson for him of this election be, course works?
Well, yeah, that, and also it doesn't matter, Lester, right? Because he's not going to run for re-election again. That's it. He's going to have these 4 years, and he's the same Donald Trump, but he may govern differently. And what I mean by that is that he knows Washington now. The first time he didn't know Washington. Now he knows Washington.
That's scary. That's not
Expect. You remember
a comforting fact.
And then they quickly were dismissed. What we saw with his campaign that was different from 2016 and really from his White House presidency, the team he assembled is the team that stayed, right? His campaign team, those around him, are the people that stayed. What's different this time
Oh,
around,
so
though,
wait, this
folks
is the
were
wars. Okay, all right. Okay. Sounds like my great grandfather who thought late in his life the natives got a bad deal after he spent his life. Yeah, that's wild. But it also shows like if he was like an idiot, which I believe that he was, like which is probably why was it Stolas or Zuflu said that he wasn't like ready to be um yeah, like he wasn't ready to be president. And which is unfortunate. Like you put this person in this position and then they're like, signing off on things that end up destroying their conscience. Who knows? Have faith, Nova. Just think it's a novella. The fat girl never gets the man. Trump is the fat girl. Oh, Trump didn't give a shit. He don't even think it's his fault. 19.
From time to time, that made their lives difficult.
Yes, though, that's what it seems like. That he was like put in a position he wasn't ready for.
But look at the Donald Trump.
And then his conscience had to pay for it, which,
He's about to take the stage. Let's listen.
Uh-oh, he's taking the stage. Hold on. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. Is that Baron? He's tall. Oh, my God. Oh, look at this fucking guy, yo. I hate this song too. I can't stand this song. And it's not even because it's a bad song necessarily. It's just like, oh my God. Oh Lord. All right. That's Eric. Yeah, Eric Trump looks like a weasel. No, Stoll is. Oh my God, I would have kicked him out. Mm. Look at Vance. I feel like I'm about to. I'm getting nauseous. I'm feeling nauseated at the moment.
Thank you very much. Wow.
Oh my God. Stolas, I would have kicked them out every night.
Thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this
Oh, brother.
movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country and maybe beyond.
I'm having a drink myself.
And now it's going to reach a new level of importance because we're going to
Oh, God.
help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly. We're going to fix our borders. We're going to fix
Eric.
everything about our country. And we made history for a reason tonight, and the reason is going to be just that. We overcame obstacles that nobody thought possible, and it is now clear that we've achieved the most incredible political thing. Look what happened. Is this crazy? But it's a political victory that our country has never
It
seen
is,
before.
Louis.
Nothing like this. I want to thank the American people for the extraordinary honor of being elected your 47th president and your 45th president.
All over again. All over again.
And to every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and
Oh,
your
man.
future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
I don't like the way that sounds, man. Like I don't like it at
This
all.
is a magnificent victory for the American people that will allow us to make America great again. Oh. And in addition to having won the battleground states of North Carolina, I love these places. Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
You got Wisconsin
We are
too?
now winning in
Oh,
Michigan,
Lord.
Arizona, Nevada, and Alaska, which would result in us carrying at least 315 electoral votes. But
Yeah, agreed, Tank Girl. Agreed.
it's much easier doing what the networks did or whoever called it because there was no other path. There was no other path to victory. We also have won the popular vote. That was great. Very proud of it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. And winning the popular vote was very nice. Very nice, I will tell you.
Very nice.
A great,
Very nice.
a great feeling of love. We have a great feeling of love in this very large room with unbelievable people standing by my side. These people have been incredible. They've made the journey with me, and we're going to make you very happy.
Bobby
We're going to
Shue.
make you very proud of yourself.
No.
I hope that you're going to be looking back someday and say that was one of the truly important moments of my life when I voted for this group of people beyond the president, this group of great people. America has given us an unprecedented and powerful mandate. We have taken back control of the Senate. Wow, that's good. And the Senate races in Montana, Nevada, Texas, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin,
I got you,
the great
Pecan. I'll send it.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We're all won by the MAGA movement. They helped so much.
Man.
And in those cases, every one of them, we worked with the senators. They were tough
Okay, everybody
races, and,
chill.
I mean, the number of victories in the Senate was absolutely incredible. And we did tele-rallies. We did tele-rallies with each one of them. And sometimes we did 2 or 3 and it was amazing to look at all of those victories. Nobody expected that. Nobody. So I just wanted to thank you very much for that. And you have some great senators and some great new senators. And it also looks like we'll be keeping control of the House of Representatives.
Man. Cleaned up.
And I want to thank Mike Johnson. I think he's doing a terrific job. Terrific job. I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady.
Yeah, Laura.
Who has the #1 best-selling book in the country. Can you believe that?
Can you believe that? She's amazing. Yo, oh my God.
Oh, no, she's done a great job. Works very hard. Works very hard.
He
to
can't
help
pie. We're gonna believe
So
in
I just wanna
Benito
thank her,
together,
but I want
okay?
to thank my whole family.
Bridget,
my
she probably
amazing
did.
children, and they are amazing children.
She probably.
Now, we all think our children are amazing. Everybody here thinks their children are amazing, but that's a good thing when you think they are. But Don, Eric, Ivanka, Tiffany, Barron, Laura, Jared.
Eric looks like
Kimberly,
a
Michael,
children of the
thank you all.
corn.
What a help. What a My father-in-law, Victor, is tremendous, and we miss very much Melania's mother, Amalia. We miss Amalia. don't
Why
we,
he
huh?
said that
She
like
would be very happy right now, standing on this stage. She'd be so proud. She
Why
was a great
he
woman, that
said
one.
that?
Beautiful inside and out. She was a great woman.
This is the only plus side of a
wanna
Trump
be, the
presidency
first
is
to
his
congratulate
foolery.
Our great, now I can say, Vice President-elect of the United States, J.D. Vance.
Oh my God. Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is a terrible. Like, Jesus.
And his absolutely remarkable and beautiful wife.
Oh, you are
Vance.
Louis? Oh, man. Jesus.
And he is a feisty guy, isn't he?
All clowns,
Go
Bridget.
into the enemy camp, and you know the enemy camp is certain networks, and a lot of people don't like to. Sir, do I have to do that? He just goes, okay. Which one? CNN, MSDNC. He'll say, all right, thank you very much. He actually looks like he's like the only guy I've ever seen. He really looks forward to it, and then he just goes and absolutely obliterates them. Say a couple of words here.
Oh, it's such an interesting looking person.
Wow.
Yeah, Barron is tall. Very tall.
Well, Mr. President, I appreciate you allowing me to join you on this incredible journey. I thank you for the trust that you placed in me. And I think that we just witnessed the greatest political comeback in the history of the United States of America.
Lord.
And under President Trump's leadership, we're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children, and after the
That's true, Bridget. I'm with you on that.
we're going to
Real
lead the
talk.
greatest economic comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
Thank you very much. He's turned out to be a good choice. I took a little heat at the beginning, but he was. I knew the brain was a good one, about as good as it gets. And we love the family, and we're going to have a great 4 years, and we're going to turn our country around, make it something very special. It lost that little thing called special. We have to make it so. We're going to make this so great. It's the greatest country, and potentially the greatest country in the world by far. And right now, we're going to just work very hard to get all of that back. We're going to make it the best it's ever been. We can do that. If we had to wait longer, I don't know. It was going bad, and it was going bad fast. We're going to have to seal up those borders, and we're going to have to let people come into our country.
Oh yeah, Stolas. Let's not say that. Let's not say that. Let's take that out. I don't think I have any mods in. If you can, Stolas, delete that comment, because let's not talk about Barron like that. I mean, he's a kid, so.
We want people to come back in, but
man,
yeah,
Barron is.
Them come back in, but they have to come
Barron
in
looks like the painter's son from the Wedding Crashers.
Let me also express my tremendous appreciation for Susie and Chris. The job you did, Susie. Come here. Come here, Susie. Chris, come here, Chris. Susie likes to.
Oh, is he an adult? Okay. All right, then fuck it. I thought he was a kid. Like, if he's an adult, then whatever. I'm not sure about his age. The last time I remember, he was like 10. So I don't know how old he is. All right, if he's an adult, he's 16. How old is he? I don't know. Let me see. I'll look it up.
Hold on. Stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Oh, he's 18.
This was
okay.
unexpected,
He's 18 years
I
old.
just want to thank, obviously, President
He's
Trump for
18,
this
y'all.
journey.
All
It was
right.
a great one.
Okay,
and he's a
fine.
hell of a candidate. He's going to be a hell of a great 47th president. And this team
All right.
that we had, the best
Just making
team,
sure. No,
and
it's
of
okay,
course,
Tangra.
even
Just
my
making
boss,
sure.
Susie Wiles.
It's
the
cool.
best. Thank you.
I get it, people.
Thank you, and thank you, Susan. Look at this. She's shot. I've never seen her be shot before.
You think so, Vidal?
They're great. Everybody up here is great.
I feel
Everybody
you
up
think
here is
so.
very
I feel you.
special. But the Trump, who did you say? Oh, let me tell you, we have a new star. A star is born, Elon. Now he's an amazing guy. We were sitting together tonight. You know, he spent 2 weeks in Philadelphia and different parts of
you think so,
Pennsylvania
Vidal?
campaigning. You know, he sent the rocket up 2 weeks
Would
ago.
it surprise me? No.
And I saw that rocket, and I saw it coming down. I saw it. It was, when it left, it was beautiful, shiny white. When it came down, it didn't look so pretty. It was going 10,000 miles an hour, and it was burning like hell. I said, what happened to your paint job? He said, we've never made a paint that could withstand that kind of heat. And, but I saw it come down and turn around. And it was, you know, it's like 22 stories tall, by the way. It looks a little smaller than that, but it's big. And it came down, and you saw that fire burning. And I'm saying, only Elon can do this. It must be an Elon. And I tell the story. I told it last night. I had a man on the phone. I had the screen muted, no sound.
I didn't check that with him,
man happens to
Poetic.
be here. And that very important guy, one of the most important people in, I would say, the country, actually. But, you know, I was president, and now it looks like I was going to be maybe president again, so I figured I could ask him to hold. So I asked him to hold. And especially because you're going to be president again, they hold. So I took the phone down, and I'm looking at the screen. I'm seeing this crazy thing that's going around and coming down. It looks like it's going to crash into the
What is he
gantry.
talking about?
And I said, oh, no. And I said, do me a favor. Do you mind holding for a couple of minutes? I want to see this. I thought it was a space age movie or something. I put the phone down, but I didn't pick it up for 45 minutes, and he was holding. But this spaceship came down, and I saw those engines firing, and it looked like it was over. It was going to smash. And then I saw the fire pour out from the left side,
Oh, my
and I put
Lord.
it straight. and it came down so gently, and then it wrapped those arms around it, and it held it, and just like you hold your
What?
baby at night, your little baby.
What
And it
is
was a
happening?
beautiful thing to see. And I called Elon. I said, Elon, was that you?
The
He
hell
said,
is he
yes, it
talking
was.
about?
I said, who else can do that? Can Russia do it? No. Can China do it? No. Can the United States do it other than you? No. Nobody can do that. I said, that's why I love you, Elon. That's great. And you know, when we had the tragic hurricane
Oh
Helene,
Lord.
and it hit particular hit North Carolina, they were really devastated. The water. This was a big water, as big
A
as
lot
we've
of
ever seen
water.
water hurricane. It just lakes
Oh
out of
my God.
nothing. Fields became lakes, and the danger
Oh
was
God.
unbelievable. And the people from North Carolina came to me and they said, would it be possible, at all possible, for you to speak to Elon Musk? We need Starlink. I said, what's Starlink? It's a form of communication.
Is
So I
it
called Elon.
Starlink?
And I'll tell you what, he had, and it was very dangerous. People would die. They had no communication. All the wires were down. I called Elon Musk. I said, Elon, you have something called
Elon.
Starlink. Is that right? Yes, I do. What the hell is it? He said, it's a communication system that's very good. I said, Elon, they need it really, really badly in North Carolina. Can you get it? He had that there so fast. It was incredible. So, and it was great. It saved a lot of
Hey
lives. He
Stella.
saved a lot of lives. But he's a character. He's a special guy. He's
Jesus.
a super genius. We have to protect our geniuses. We don't have that many of them. We have to protect our super geniuses. I want to thank some of the guys. You know, we have up here today the U.S. Open champion. He's a fantastic golfer. He's slightly longer than me. It's a little bit longer than me. Just a little bit. Bryson DeChambeau is up here someplace. What happened to Bryson? Where is he? Bryson. Oh, he was shot. He's hitting balls. Oh, he's on the way. He's hitting balls. Bryson.
Crazy man. Yep, orange.
look at
Yep.
him.
Oh, this fucking guy.
He had a great.
Yeah, exactly,
He had a great
Vidal. I
career
was
going
just
to
I
great
was trying to
US
remember
Open, Bryson. That's a
what happened with
fantastic
the whole
job.
Starlink
And
thing.
we also have a man, Dana White, who has done some job. He's a tough guy.
No, I don't, I'm on Discord, but I don't you could just send it to me.
So Dana started
Hold on.
UFC and came to me.
But if you have Twitter or something like that, I'm on Twitter too.
Because
But
they said it's a rough
if
sport.
you could
It's
find me on
rough.
Discord, you could send it to me
And
there.
I helped
I'm
him
on
out a little
Discord
bit,
though.
and I went and they said, this is the roughest sport I've ever seen, but I began to like it, and he loved it, and nobody's done a better job in sports. And you know, he's a very motivational kind of a guy, what he does. He gets these fighters, and they really go at it, and it's become one of the most successful
Lord.
sports enterprises anywhere at any time. It's doing so well. I'd like to ask Dana just to say a couple of words because people love to hear from him. Dana, please.
Nobody deserves this more than him, and nobody deserves this more than his family does. This is what happens when the machine comes after you. What you've seen over the last several years,
Oh,
this is what it looks
brother.
like. Couldn't stop him. He keeps going forward. He doesn't quit. He's the most resilient, hardworking man I've ever met in my life. His family are incredible people. This is karma, ladies and gentlemen. He deserves this. They deserve it as a family. I want to thank some people real quick. I want to thank the Nelt boys, Aiden Ross, Theo Vaughn, busting with the boys, and last but not least, the mighty and powerful Joe Rogan. And thank you, America. Thank you. Have a good night.
No, Laura, did he took back his endorsement? What?
That is a piece of work. No, he's really an amazing guy. But most of all, I want to thank the millions of hardworking Americans.
I think the I noticed that the Dems. All right, I'm gonna mute him for a second. The Dems handed this one over by refusing to stop the genocide in Gaza and refusing to codify Roe for decades, actively fighting against progressives and pushing for the right has consequences. Yeah, I think part of it too, and I think this is something that um, happens with. I think it kind of happened with Hillary Clinton, and it happened with um, I don't know what the saving grace for Biden was. I think the only saving grace for Biden was the fact that we had just came off of the pandemic, so there was like a lot of lingering frustration with Trump about that, and so more, you know. But I think with this campaign specifically, there was also a lot more of I'm just gonna not be as bad as Trump, and I think that that really hurts in the sense of like how connected people will feel to a you know the person running. And I think it helps to some degree, like it helps to activate people and it helps to get people to like mobilize and all this other shit because they didn't want Trump. But I think the bad part about it is that it doesn't I think it just doesn't connect, like regardless of whether you like him or not. Trump has been able to connect to this large group of people for whatever reason, and I think that was what was missing maybe with. And then you also have to add to that sexism or racism as well, right? That's not we're not gonna ignore that, but I think some of that had to do with I'm not gonna be as bad as Trump, and I think that that kind of like hurt it as well.
We can do things that nobody else can do. Nobody else is going to be able to do it.
All right,
China
poetic
doesn't have
justice.
what we have. Nobody has what we have. But we have the greatest people also. Maybe that's the most important thing. This campaign has been so historic in so many ways. We've built the biggest, the broadest,
Really,
the most
Laura?
unified
What a
coalition.
baby.
They've never seen anything like it in all of American history. They've never seen any young and old, men and women, rural and urban. And we had them all helping us tonight. When you think, I mean, some great analysis of the people that voted for us. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. It came from.
I don't believe that is the reason he won. All right, shut up, Trump. I don't believe that's the reason he won. Disinformation won. There are too many people paid to push propaganda. They also push propaganda to dissuade them populations from voting. I guess we would have to see what the turnout was, like how it compares to like prior years. But I don't I can't disagree with that 100%. Like I think that there's also that as well. Like
We want to have things be good, safe. We want great education. We want a strong and powerful military.
well, yeah, it's an anti like establishment mentality that still
We had no
exists.
wars, except we defeated ISIS. We defeated ISIS in record time, but we had no wars. They said, he will start a war. I'm not going to start a war. I'm going to stop wars. But this is also a massive victory for democracy and for freedom. Together, we're going to unlock America's glorious destiny, and we're going to achieve the most incredible future for our people. Yesterday, as I stood at my last stop on the campaign trail, I'll never be doing a rally again. Can you believe it? I think we've done 900 rallies approximately from them. Can you imagine?
Damn, man. What's up, Edna?
901 something, a lot of rallies. And it was sad. Everybody was sad. Many people, I said, this is our last rally. But now we're going on to something that's far more important. Because
I'm holding out until the rest is counted.
Be put in this position where we can really help our country. That's what
It ain't over till it's over.
We're going to make our country better than it ever has been. And I said that many people have told me that
I see what you mean, Enola.
Spared my life for a reason.
I see what y'all mean by that.
Country and to restore America to greatness. And now we are going to fulfill that mission together. We're going to fulfill that mission. The task before us will not be easy, but I will bring every ounce of energy, spirit, and fight that I have in my soul to the job that you've entrusted to me. This is a great job. There's no job like
I
this.
really
This
am,
is
Bridget.
the most important job in the world.
Yeah, no, you're right, Vidal, on that one. Yes, yes,
I
yes,
did in
yes.
my first term. We had a great first term.
And that's
a
why
great,
he
great first term.
specifically targeted those
I will
people.
govern by a
Absolutely.
simple motto: promises made, promises kept. We're going
The
to keep our
last
promise.
sliver of hope, Bridget.
Nothing will stop me from keeping my word to you, the people. We will make America safe, strong, prosperous, powerful, and free again.
I want to
I'm
wake
asking
up
every
and they be
citizen all
like,
across our land
hey,
to join me in this
Kamala took
noble
it.
and righteous endeavor. That's what it is. It's time to put the divisions of the past 4 years behind us. It's
Oh,
time to
Lord.
unite. And we're going to try. We're going to try. We have to try. And it's going to happen. Success will bring us together. I've seen that. I've seen that. I saw that in the
Nothing
first
about this
term
man's
when we
campaign
became
or
more and more
presidency will bring
successful.
people together.
People started
Nothing.
coming together. Success is going to bring us together, and we are going to start by all putting America first. We have to put our country first for at least a period of time. We have to fix it because together we can truly make America great again for all Americans. So I want to just tell you what a great honor this is. I want to thank you. I will not let you down. America's future will be bigger, better, bolder, richer,
If
safer,
I,
and
if I,
stronger than it
the
has
only
ever
place
been
I go
before.
out of New York
God
is
bless
another
you
blue
and God
state
bless
because,
America. Thank you very much.
nope, not doing it. I feel for people who, like I think Stoles had mentioned having to live in a red state. I feel for y'all, man, because that shit is scary. The right wants a dictatorship and fascism and has a base that worships this turd.
25 minutes
Kamala
before
had nothing better
March,
to offer in real ways.
essentially
It's all neoliberal shit from the Dems
acknowledging
as
that
per usual.
he has been called by
I
others.
think Kamala. I think Kamala ran a better campaign than than like let's say I compare her to like I guess Hillary. Way better campaign. I think she's more likable than Hillary, but I do agree that there was like this and I guess because I guess they were trying to combat the irregular assumption that she would be. I guess they were trying to get the centrist and stuff like that, right? But I don't know that it just didn't translate. I guess like I guess they were trying to get the centrist and then the far left people, but I don't think it translated. And don't get me, I believe like the younger people really came out, like Gen Z and all that shit. Like they really came out, but it just I guess it wasn't enough. Um, Everything posters have learned about American politics seemingly doesn't apply anymore. I will wait for my novella ending. I know, right? Time for Russia to move those North Korean troops to Ukraine. But running the better campaign doesn't seem to matter. No. Kamala got thrown in without enough time to. That's true too. I always forget that Kamala like wasn't there from the beginning. So I guess like well, in a sense from uh as a what do you call these people as a fucking someone running. I It's escaping me. I'm sorry. It's late. Um so she wasn't there from the beginning, so maybe that also has something to do with it, that she wasn't able to like connect with the people that she needed to vote for her because she had just been the VP at that point, and there wasn't that like connection with the voter base. I don't know, like candidates, thank you. What the fuck? I don't know if it's just too late. I've been drinking a little bit too. Well, I haven't really drank a lot, but I've been drinking. It's late because it's almost 3 for me over here, and I was just recording something that needs to be edited together before I even jumped onto here. So I think my brain is just tired. Okay, I've been having to like word too much. Yeah, she wasn't. Right. Yeah, I know. Hey, well, you know what? It's a factor, but I still think no. Stolas. I do think that sexism has a big like more of an influence than people want to give it credit for. At least not everybody, but a lot. I think sexism definitely had a lot to do with it. Racism had a lot to do with it. But I also think that um, because she wasn't a candidate that was like from running from the beginning, there was less time for her to really connect with everyone. So what she did was like get endorsements from celebrities and shit like that. But it just wasn't enough. I bet your mama is dancing somewhere. Well, you know what? All I know is I better be getting some checks or something like that because isn't that what we what he was happy about the first time? Oh my god. Nova got the husky ring. I do. Like yeah, I mean leaving the country, I just gotta move to well, I am moving, but I just gotta make sure I stay, in like these blue areas because it's neatly midnight here. Use a tie. Your brain is not braining correctly. It really isn't. My brain isn't braining correctly. When we look at men's voter diagnostics and anticipating shame, that's what I was saying too. Like, oh my God, can you imagine what it's like in the households of the women who voted for Kamala and how their husbands who voted for Trump are responding right now? Do you know? Okay, imagine this. Picture this. I feel like Sophia from the Golden Girls. Picture this. You voted for Kamala. Your husband voted for Trump, and you live in a red state. And now that is looking like Trump is pretty much the going to be the next president, and he's in your face gloating. How enraged are you? I think that would be it. It would be like divorce. I know I'm not an American, but I truly feel that this would impact us in some way. U.S. Are highly influential to us, so it wouldn't surprise me if we take on some of the policies. You think so? What's up, Zena? I forgot to say what's up to you. We could have had Bernie a decade ago in progressive politics when the Dems shut him down. It changed the landscape for the people. Propping up neoliberals despite the will of the people has consequence. Well, Democrats, I feel like they've always picked the wrong candidate. I thought that Kamala was uh I thought Kamala was a I wasn't crazy about her at first. But when she brought on Walls and looking at like some of the things that he's pushed in where he's from, I was like, okay, like that he may be able to balance that out, right? Because and then I also have looked into some of the stuff that she's done when she was out in Cali or whatever. So I'm like, it may not like I'm with it. You know what I mean? Like I'm definitely not voting for Trump, so I'm with it. Um, but I've found like in my time that I've paid attention to politics that Democrats always pick the wrong candidate. They don't necessarily pick the candidate that's popular with people. The last person I think they've done that with is Obama. Like I don't know that Biden would have necessarily won had the pandemic not happened. Um. Oh, good night, y'all. Love. I have to face my openly MAGA coworkers tomorrow. Oh man. All right, Eric. Have a good one. Have a good night. Mexico has their first woman president. Mexico was actually like the first country to have like a black president too. I learned that a couple years ago. I was like, oh shit. Um, I doubt Bernie would have won. The backlash to having a black man in office was pretty severe. The Tea Party turned into this MAGA mess. We've been paying ever since, Vidal. We've been paying ever since for Obama. Could you stay married if your man was a Trump supporter though? I couldn't. I'm sorry, I couldn't. I was so happy that I didn't have to explain none of this shit to my man. I didn't have to be like, no, he automatically knew what it was and did what he needed to do. Like, so I couldn't imagine. Mexico has a brilliant, progressive, and dynamic woman as president. It is possible in a highly misogynistic culture if the person is viable. The states refuse uh, that in the two parties by design. I'm gonna dip. All right, man. All right, Tank Girl. It's so hard to know what could have happened with Bernie. I think well, Bernie was popular with people. That's the thing. People like Bernie, and like, I mean, I know Vermont has a whole lot of like progressive programs and shit like that for uh, for his citizens. So I think a lot of people did like Bernie, and I think he would have had a better chance than Hillary for sure. Dems ran ads in red states telling women their vote was secret. How fucked up is that? Yeah, yeah. I think Dems. I think some of the problem with this whole campaign was definitely we're gonna be what Trump would do this, and I'm not saying that that's necessarily uncommon to like point out where the other candidate is not going to succeed, but or like where they can hurt the people. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it does go down to just sexism. I have no idea. Like I'm not a brain about this stuff. I'm really learning. I'm really like I think I started like really paying attention to politics during the Trump presidency because growing up I was told, your vote don't count. Presidents are selected, not elected, that type of shit. And so I didn't pay attention. And when I started paying attention, it's like then I started to get interested in it. Bernie had won many in the right with populist policies sincerely. Yeah, people like Bernie. Then the party stepped in, kneecapped him, and installed yet another shit candidate in Hillary who propped up Trump and lost. Right. Yep. We are underestimating how threatened the white rich men feel in this country. They are violently enthusiastic and believe they literally need to tamp down anything even remotely progressive. Well, that's why you see like if you go on TikTok or even like that red pill movement, that shit didn't come out of nowhere. That's like a deliberate attempt to sort of like to roll back you know how do you call it, the progression of like women, and that's like in almost every part of society, right? This whole trad wife pushing for this trad wife shit, and who do they target? Younger women, younger people, because they don't want that progress, and it does have a lot to do with like yeah, rich white men. They don't want to see that move forward. Claudia won Mexico because AMLO backed her up, and it was beautiful to see, but it was Claudia versus I don't know how to say that name. But AMLO was loved, so Claudia took it. At least abortion in Missouri seems like it is secured again. Won't help those who already died and have rapist pregnancies, but it is a small victory. Yeah, that's something. That's something. I'm glad you was able to make it too. Hey, thank y'all for hanging out. I thought I was gonna have like like a couple people or something like that because I don't really go like I've been on and off in my life, so but it was a lot of fun. I was watching this stuff and I was like, I know I'm not gonna go to sleep. Like I know for a fact I'm not going to sleep no time soon. And so I figured I'd just watch it with everybody else. But I think that's it. I think that's pretty much like done. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm glad Stolas. I'm glad it's helping out. I'm gonna keep watching and I'm gonna keep praying for some sort of miracle. All right. But if anything, I think in a day or two I'm gonna be going over I don't know yet. It depends on when I'm able to do it because now with this happening I gotta go and I got this video I wanna work on regarding people's like response to this whole thing. So I gotta work on that. So I'm gonna go on TikTok and start looking for videos and stuff. Biden, use your immunity, use the courts, use the mental health for. You think he still has the time? To, oh, he probably could. Yeah, because he still got what until January. Come on, Biden. Like Biden, do something, please. I usually be lurking every now and then on your channel on BGTV, but I appreciate you streaming this. I appreciate y'all coming out. I'm gonna go work on this video, and I guess I will see you on a couple days. I want to go over Destiny debating a bunch of conservatives, and I think Sam Cedar of the Majority Report. He actually had a debate with Tim Pool, and so that should be fun too. Yeah, man, they did that. They did them so fucking Well, they didn't even let what's his name appoint Merrick Garland. Oh, you're welcome. Thank y'all for the company. So anyway, all right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. And again, thank y'all for coming out. Let me see if I got some music. I don't even think I got music here because I haven't. Oh, I got some. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. The inmate hopper. Who's that? No, when are you gonna cover the inmate hopper? Ashley. Who's that? Pecan pie. Who are we talking about? Did I? Please let me know. All right, Adele. If Biden had the will to do anything to Trump, it would just spark a civil war. That old bastard doesn't know what is happening anyway and wouldn't lift a finger. Oh, I saw a piece of the Tim Pool versus Sam Cedar, and I was like, oh no, this gotta be good. So I kind of don't want to. All right, and I have a good one. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch it on stream. I've been fighting myself not to watch this privately because I want to watch it on stream, but I saw like a little like clip of it. I was like, oh no, I don't know who that is. I'll look it up. Pecan pie. Cover the inmate Hopper Ashley. I'll look it up and see what I can find. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next one later.